Hello and welcome back to Operations with Void. I'm your host, Forgotten Void, and this week we are going to showcase the Operation Hermes using the lovely AA cruiser, well, light cruiser, on AL Zero Lane Montpelier. Just so happens that as I am recording and posting this video, we have a sale on the ships. With a Zero Lane back in action event going on, and in the armory you have this. So you can buy Montpelier individually for 12,800 doubloons, or you can get her in the bundle with Shimakaze. If you want Shimakaze, I would just go for this bundle and buy it online because you can get the 15% coupon, and then it's about the same price as AL Shimakaze alone without the coupon. Plus you get Montpelier and you get a Heinrich, and both Montpelier and Heinrich are good ops boats. And Shimakaze is just Shimakaze, but with a fancier skin. Or you could try whaling and just getting these, which have a chance to get a commander or a chance to get a ship. Well, you are going to get a commander or you are going to get a ship. But yeah, so you have a low chance to get a ship, high chance to get a commander, and there's a lot of commanders. So anyways, that's that. Just thought I'd throw that out since we're doing one of the Weeb ships. I bought this a few patches ago and I had a bigger discount when I bought her, which is why I did. And I could use doubloons rather than having to spend real money for the ship to get the discount. Anyways, Montpelier is basically Cleveland with a few differences. One, you get spotter aircraft or radar. You do not have the option for fighter aircraft. Cleveland has the option for fighter aircraft. 2, it's half a second longer reload, but slightly more survivability and slightly better Sigma. So your shells are more likely to hit the target, but you have half a second slower reload. Those are pretty much all of the differences. Otherwise, Montpelier and Cleveland, the tech tree Cleveland, are the same. So if you don't want to spend money, you can just use the Cleveland, and then you're getting the same thing except without the premium ship bonus. That said, so these are the equipment I'm using. More fires, although I could equip this for more fires. Just don't have it now. If this for the cooldown for the consumable prep time, it's because you have several consumables. And this for, because you have both Hydro and Def AA, so this actually is one of the few times where, or this is one of the few ships where you get both bonuses out of this. So the Hydro cooldown and action time, you get a buff, and the Def AA gets a cooldown buff. So that's why I'm using that, and no others. As for the captain skills, we have Last Stand. The base cruiser stuff is Last Stand, Priority Target, Adrenaline Rush, and then Concealment Expert. We go with Superintendent because you have a lot of different consumables, and if you're going in randoms, you want to have the more radars. And so this captain build is for both ops and randoms that you use interchangeably. We have consumable enhancement skills for the consumables to last longer. We have radio location because the turret's traverse is slow, so we want to have the turrets on target. If you want the DPM build, instead of radio location, you'd use top grade gunner. The reason why we're not doing this is because we went into concealment, and so top grade gunner only affects things within 9.3 kilometers, and generally we want to stay out of there, so we're not going to be using top grade gunner. If you want to build a DPM build, you go with heavy HE and top grade gunner instead of these two. So you swap these two for these two, and then you have the ops DPM build. And then we're using the radar mod because, again, this is for both to swap between PvP and PvE. Otherwise, a radar is not really needed. If you don't want to spend coal, the damage control mod is probably the best one. That or, and either of them doesn't matter. I'd probably use this one for lower chance of catching fire because you do not have a heal. Okay, that's about the ship. Now let's go into battle. So we have a Hermes map. As you can see, I am actually running solo, so no division mates at all. Just randomly getting this. Now, this one I'm showcasing because it's higher damage. I had for the dockyard mission, I had another one where instead of the planes that we have to shoot down now, so we're moving over to go shoot down these planes. Activating the Def AA early because the Def AA and the priority sector stack. So you want the Def AA up before you have the priority sector selected. Now you can turn off the AA, and that will immediately put the Def AA, defensive AA fire, back on cooldown. We didn't do it this time because we activated early. We don't really need to before the planes come in. Now, if you want to get more planes, like say you're doing a dockyard mission where you have to shoot down planes in a cruiser, which I did, I actually turned my AA off for the first wave so that we would shoot down, and we didn't shoot down the scouts, and so we would actually get more planes. This allowed me to have 50 planes or so shot down. And as you can see, the captain I'm actually using is Montpelier. Montpelier, okay, I am a little bit. I do play Azurlane. In Cleveland, I do like Cleveland class on Azurlane too. Of them, Montpelier and Cleveland are the Montpelier, Cleveland, and Denver. Those are the ones I like. Since I can't buy Cleveland, I can buy Montpelier as a ship to get the captain, and that's the only way to guarantee the captain because you can't buy the captains individually. I went ahead and bought the ship a while back, and that's why I ended up with the ship. Because there's either gamble away in the loot crates or just buy the ship and get the captain you want. So, if you are a weeb and you really will have a captain that you really want, and they are selling a ship for her, I would buy this ship. I also bought Littorio because right now, until a little bit more to Wednesday or so, Wednesday, Thursday, she's on sale at 80% off. And while it's a Roma, here's a link to a Roma video. While it's a Roma, it's still tier 8 for really, really cheap. Roma is hit or miss, but it can do well. The thing about Roma versus other Italian ships is she gets HE, which is really nice. And here we are, and this is why we actually moved way back, because I didn't want the York shooting at me. This here is the tactic of we are using our allies as a shield. We are forcing them to tank for us by sitting in the back. Also in the middle of the storms, so that the dispersion of the enemy ships is increased, so that it'll be harder to hit us. The other effect of the storm, where you're undetected lose detection after 7 seconds or so. It doesn't matter. It matters for heavy cruisers, but for light cruisers, especially since we have adrenaline rush and we are shooting every 6 seconds or so, we're just going to continually be detected. Now, I wish our battleships were in front to tank for the Ruan, but at least there's a point where she will heal. We haven't reached that point yet. And a lot of you, I guess when I was going over the skills, you might have noticed that I didn't take IFHE. This is because, well, in a randoms build, normally people take IFHE to get more damage. But there's another way to play Cleveland, and that is Firestarter build, where you keep your 30mm pen. So anything with 30mm armor or lower, mostly cruisers, you will still be able to pen and deal damage to. But you keep your fire chance. So for battleships, if you don't pen their deck armor, or for other ships, if you don't pen 32mm armor, which a lot of things don't, a lot of ships have 32mm or higher armor, like the Tirpitz here, we're just getting shatters on. And if we hit the superstructure, we'll get damage. But the whole thing is setting the fire. So we set 2 fires on the Tirpitz, 3 fires on the Tirpitz. Cleveland class have a very, very, very high fires per minute. So you would, because of their high rate of fire and their decent fire chance, you're likely to set a lot of fires. And so as a Firestarter build, where you don't take the inertial fuse for high explosive, the IFHE, this allows you to set a lot of fires, and that's what we're doing with all these battleships, is we're setting fires. We're making sure the fires are set and then letting them burn. But yeah, the other thing is, because of that, when you just hit the deck armor, the bow, the stern, they have more than 30mm of armor or more, we're just getting shatters. So against other tier 8s, Tirpitz, Bismarck, we're not going to do that much damage unless we're hitting the superstructure. And that's only until it's saturated. And we're already at 171k plane damage, because the planes here have lots and lots of HP. Granted, the only way that planes in the current a balance style is yeah, we barely took any AA damage, but so we are still at 93%. So with our current DPS, we're at lower than normal. But if we lose more HP again, we'll be back to higher DPS. So that's the benefit of Adrenaline Rush. It also boosts your AA damage. And that's one. The other thing, we took the 2-point skill for AA. Because it increases flak, and your flak is where you're going to get a lot of AA damage in PvE. PvP, you barely get any damage from flak, but PvE, that's where all your damage is. And granted, since this op encourages you to go in a group and not split up, there is a lot of AA. And originally it was allied cruisers only. Because Allied cruisers usually have the highest AA rating. German cruisers, surprisingly, actually have pretty high AA rating. But usually Allied cruisers have the highest AA rating. The planes had to be balanced around that. And as such, with the new plane system, they gave the planes a lot of HP so that the planes could actually get a strike in. Because the Wargaming's mindset for the planes now is they should at least get one strike in. Radar, because we want to see the Bayern. No hiding. No hiding allowed. So this is one of the few times that radar. This op and Cherry Blossom are the best two ops for radar, because in this op there's a lot of destroyers that will smoke up other ships, and then Cherry Blossom, because of the night mode, the radar really helps with spotting ships early. Otherwise, radar is good for spotting it, seeing if a ship is behind an island or something. So again, you see we're sitting in the back. We're sitting behind our teammates so that they will take the fire while we do the damage. Because Montpelier, being a light cruiser, is lightly armored. So we can't really take the punishment. And the bots in this mode are programmed to bow into the nearest player, or nearest enemy, in their eyes, nearest enemy. And as such, it becomes really hard to get broadsides without teamwork, because you need to get one person to go in and distract them while the other person goes and turns them. Yeah, or sorry, one person goes in, distracts them, get the going the one way, and the other person to go get broadside shots. And so I could have been using armor piercing on that, but I didn't. It did worked out in the end. These destroyers here, these destroyers need to die in order for Rouen to make it to the end. Luckily, the Richelieu is in front of me have distracted, and well, the Richelieu and the bot Charles Martel have distracted. The bot Charles Martel took a torp, which gave me an opening, and is acting as a wall. And I'm moving forward so that the Hydra would detect the ships, and a nice, it's a second detonation this game. So we got a little bit lucky by detonating destroyers and getting a little bit of extra damage there. And I guess I should be focusing on the... so, if you want stars, I would be focusing on the carrier. But I've been focusing on the enemy ships because They're the ones that are an immediate threat. And now that the immediate threat to Rouen has disappeared, we're going to focus on the carrier. Because the Munich, there's only 3 enemy ships left that have guns. Munich right there. Just take him out. Yes, I know I used armor-piercing bow on, but by aiming above at the superstructure, I was able to get full pens. Are we gonna get the carrier? Are we gonna get the carrier? If I had focused on the carrier instead of the other ships, we might have actually gotten the 5 stars. But this is not bad for a 4-star. So 298k damage, 24 fires, 6 kills, 431 hits. We have 1,000,000 credits. Top of the team with 1,700 base XP. And mostly HE, just a little bit AP at the end. We probably should have used HE at the end too. So HE is really good. We have plenty of destroyers killed. We shot everything, just everything, shoot everything. At 345k plane damage, and we have 1,000,000 credits profit from this. We were using blues, so 1,000,000 credits profit, 7,000 free XP, and 30k into elite commander XP because my Montpelier is a 21-point captain. And with that, that is the end of this video, and doing a lot of damage in a Montpelier, or you could do pretty much the same thing in a Cleveland because they're basically the same ship. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you have comments, I'm usually active in the comment section. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But I can't make you hit that subscribe button because I'm not your mother. I do, however, hope to see you again next week. Have a good one.